Now, because I want to go gas-free in my van, I'm actually trying to use as many diesel appliances as I possibly can. I'm using diesel to heat my water, I'm using diesel to heat the van, and I'm also going to be using diesel to cook with. So today I really want to try and test bench this diesel cooktop. As you can see from the surface, it looks just like an electric ceramic hob, but in fact it runs on diesel. I've got zero experience of cooking with diesel. I actually want to set this up on a test bench in plenty of time before it comes to fitting this in the van, so that I can get used to how this works, and most importantly to make sure it does actually work before I install it in my van. So that's why I want to set this up on a test bench, so I've got plenty of time to test it and plenty of time to get used to cooking with it. And the other reason I want to do this is because there are no video reviews online about this cooktop, none that I can find anyway. There are plenty of videos concerning the original diesel heater cooktop, the expensive one, but none that I can find featuring this Chinese knockoff one. So that anyone out there considering buying one of these diesel cooktops can make an informed decision on whether or not this cooktop is for them or not. Right, let's get going on this. Let's see if I can find something to put this on. So I've got this old towel rail holder. You can see it holds blue roll, and I used to have a surface grinder on here. I think this will make a perfect stand for my diesel cooktop. It's at the right height as well. And if I kind of put it in here, it'll be tucked out of the way. We can move the bluetti. I can use this as a preparation surface for cooking my evening meals. And then I can run the exhaust pipe out through the wall where the diesel heater exhaust pipe goes. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. Just put it there. So if I have the cooktop here, then I've got this room to use to prepare my food, to move all this stuff out of the way. I'm basically going to have a good clean up. I need a bit of a tidy up in here. It's getting a bit messy. Yeah, it's going to go there. First of all, let's get rid of this diesel heater. I've been messing around with this battery, just testing this battery out. Again, this is something new that's going to be going into my Sprinter, or maybe even Becky's van. Not quite decided yet. So far this battery is proving to be a beast. So let's just put that over there that way, so that's safe. We can unplug this, we don't need that anymore. Let's get rid of this diesel heater first. Hopefully I don't regret this. I'm actually going to take one of these diesel heaters down to my lockup, use it down there. I might even disassemble this and use this in my van. Still undecided, but that's a possibility. So what I'm going to do is, oh hello, Becky's turned up, look. Everyone keeps asking where you are. Why haven't you been on my videos lately?
Because I've been busy working.
People keep asking, where's Becky? Well, there you know.
Yeah, busy working and opening up my channel a bit more, so spending more time.
On your channel?
On my channel, yeah.
Yeah, so go check out Becky's channel. And don't forget, for some behind the scenes footage, check out her Patreon as well.
Yeah, there's loads of extra things going to be on there. We're going to be doing a podcast regularly.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I forgot to tell him. There's bonus videos and behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, it's going to be expanding. So there is going to be my social media. I'm not going to be on Instagram or any other, just over on Patreon.
Patreon, yeah.
Yeah.
Focus your energy on that.
Yeah.
So very good it is too.
Yeah.
Right, now where was I? Yes.
We're going to wire.
Oh yes. So what I'm going to do is make a frame for this, because there's quite a small lip on here, very small margin for error. It's a bit like fitting a window, I think. So when it comes to actually fitting this into a work surface, this frame I can actually use as a template, as well as putting that frame on top of here. I'm going to knock this out, then that framework is going to support the rest of this on top of here, so then we can test it out. Any of that make sense? Maybe I should just get on and do it, eh? Where's my tape measure? Don't mind a bit, would love.
Would you like a coffee or tea?
I'd love a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Black, no milk, no sugar.
Well, you've never had sugar.
No, just saying. 47.
Right, I'll go and do that.
What the hell has happened to the guard? Looks like the guard has fallen off of this. And nobody bothered putting it back on. It's probably buried in the sawdust somewhere. Jeez. Any idea what's happened to the guard off of this? There's a bit missing, yeah.
That's a clue. Didn't know there was one on there, to be honest
Yeah,
with
look at me, look. I've used it. Look, I've done one cut.
Yeah.
I've covered, look. Yeah, there's supposed to be a bit that goes on there.
Yeah.
Like part of it's missing.
No idea.
It's probably buried in the sawdust somewhere. Well, that's a mystery. Do you know where did you ever notice the guard missing off of there?
Oh,
There's meant to be like a bit on there so you can put a tube on it.
oh, no, I didn't know.
Perfect. Right. Okay, so I've read the instructions. We've got power, we've got diesel, but we do need to prime the diesel pump. And according to the instructions, it should be quite simple.
Okay, press the function button.
Function button with the switch to the minimum.
Yeah, and then you turn it all the way to the maximum.
Maximum.
And then back to the minimum.
Back to the minimum.
Then the red light is on. Knob the switch in the middle position.
On the middle position.
Both the red light and the green light flash at the same time.
Nothing.
Okay, so reset it, go
Right,
back to minimum.
Turn it off, so let's reset it. Right,
If any key is pressed during the fast fuel pumping, the fast fuel will stop.
Right, so let's try just pushing it and then turning it right and then left. Right, so push it, let go, turn right, turn left,
Right, no.
then to the middle. Yes, it's working!
Right.
So there you go, you don't hold the button down yet and it's pumping. Right, now I've got to turn it off. I don't want to overfuel it because I don't want to flood it.
Well, it says default pump time is 90 seconds.
Oh right, it just pumps for 90 seconds?
Yeah. It basically says if you interfere with it, it will stop. So you have to wait for the 90 seconds.
I don't want to overfuel it. Overfuel it?
Overfill.
Overfill it. I can see the air bubbles coming up.
It says carefully check for any leaks.
No, there's no leaks. There's lots of air bubbles.
It says you have to run it as well because there might be quite a lot of smell.
Yeah, right, I'm going to stop it there because there's plenty of fuel coming up here now.
Okay.
So if I touch this, it should stop.
That's it.
Right, okay, so it's stopped. Okay, so we think we've primed it. Now in this kettle is 2 cups of water and we thought we'd try a little experiment, see how long it takes to warm up.
Yeah.
We're going to put this on full power, hold this for 2 seconds apparently, and then it should turn it on, and it has.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You can hear it whirring like a diesel heater.
Yeah, that's the fan you can hear whirring. So how many amps is it drawing? Can you see in the battery?
It's cycling through.
Oh yeah, so it's going up and down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, got 10. Was that 10?
10.1. I think it must be every time this is feeding from
Yeah.
it's getting the reading, isn't it?
Yeah, when it goes up to 10, that's the glow plug cutting in. But the pump's not working yet. There's definitely fuel in the line. No, I haven't put the air filter on now. Oh, there we go, the pump's going.
So that's what, a minute?
It took a while, didn't it?
The fan went on?
Yeah, so it's not like, oh, quick, put the kettle on, love type situation. It does take a while to warm up.
I think it'll be, do you want a cup of tea in half an hour?
Yeah, maybe that. It may well be.
Well, let's time it actually, shall we?
Yeah, go on then, put a timer on. If not, I thought it would go click, 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 click.
Well, maybe it will once it's
Once it's going.
up and running and actually working more than once. This is still the first time, isn't it? 2 minutes.
That's so quiet. I was expecting it to roar like a diesel heater, but it doesn't. It's actually running. I didn't even realise it was going.
It's getting hot.
Yeah, you
Mel
can't
just
touch
put his
it.
hand on it and he didn't even realise that it was already on and heating up.
I was really expecting it to be noisy, like to be like
No,
that,
it's
you know,
good.
that noise you get from a diesel heater.
Maybe because it's in a housing.
Holy crap, that is hot.
Ooh, so that was 2 minutes 32 seconds.
But remember, that is the first time it's been lit. There was a lot of air bubbles in that still.
No, but I'm saying that's brilliant because you warned me that it could be 10-15 minutes of heating up. It's not.
I thought it would take longer than that.
It takes me longer than this to find the lighter in the van to light the gas.
I'm really pleased with that.
Oh, it's smelling.
Yeah, it will because it's new. It's going to smell. Time check. How long's it been going now? It's really hot, both sides.
7 minutes 46 seconds.
Well, the kettle is starting to boil, as you can hear.
And it's surprisingly a lot quicker than I was expecting.
It is. I'm surprised as well. That's 2 cups of water.
Yeah.
Because what we generally do is, if we want a cup of tea each, we only put what water in there we actually want to use.
So just out of interest, if you put it to the cooler one, does it still...
Yeah, it'll still
it
carry on
boils it,
boiling.
yeah.
So just now you could actually see the flames underneath here. You can just see it glowing red. It's quite red. Yeah, so that's simmering away on there quite nicely. We've got it on full. But yeah, you could actually see the flames hitting the bottom of the hob. You can just see a nice glow now. Oh, not too close.
Can I go and do my washing up now then?
Put that on there. Yeah, or some hot water.
Yeah.
There you go. We shall continue to experiment with this.
Yeah.
Well, I will.
We'll start with cups of tea,
Cups
and then
of
we
tea.
might work up to frying something a bit
Yeah,
later.
I'll try and cook something on it tomorrow. Are you around tomorrow?
Midday onwards.
Potentially.
Yeah.
So if not, I'll do my breakfast on it in the morning. See how we get on.
Yeah.
So I shall see you in the morning by magic of editing. I'm going to put my hand up to the camera, take it away, and when I take my hand away, it will be miraculously tomorrow morning. I'll see you then. What do you want to do? Want to do the honours?
I'll do the honours. See you tomorrow. Rate the eggs.
Well, it is now the very next day. I've got to say I'm quite excited. I'm going to have some breakfast. I'm not going to do my usual scrambled eggs. I'm actually going to have some boiled eggs, and the reason I'm going to do some boiled eggs, and that is so we can actually get a visualisation of how the water boils. And what I'm really interested in finding out if we can actually put this on a simmer. So when I come to cook stuff like pasta, for instance, we can just simmer it gently. So let's go ahead, switch it on. Oh, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do as well. I'm actually going to time this. I think, oh, let's put it on full. See how long it takes to reach to boil. I'm interested to see how long it takes to boil. So where are we? Stopwatch. Start. So there you go. The clock is ticking. How long will it take to boil some eggs in a saucepan? Now do bear in mind, this isn't really a real case scenario, because in reality what I would do if I was going to use this in the van, I would actually turn this on first and then, you know, go to the cupboard, get the saucepan out, fill it up with water, put the eggs in, all that sort of stuff whilst this is actually warming up. So this isn't a real life scenario test, it's just firing it up from cold. And to prove it's cold, I'll just put my hands on here to show you it's cold. The water is cold, for those dobby doubters out there. Right, see how long it takes. Now it hasn't quite reached boiling point yet, but I thought just out of interest we'd just have a look at how much electricity this is actually using, how much drain on the battery is this taking. Have a look at this. I'm really surprised, quite pleasantly surprised. So it's fluctuating between 0.4 and 0.7 of an amp. Look at that. So there's hardly any drain at all on the battery. So far, I'm really impressed. This is going to be a really cheap and efficient way to cook food. It uses hardly any electricity. And as you can hear, the diesel pump has speeded up a little bit. If I come down here, you'll hear it. Yeah, it's not using a lot. And that's on full as well. We've got it on full power. Looks like it's about to start to boil. There are bubbles occurring there. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm making eggs for breakfast.
Oh yeah.
One
each?
Yeah, one each I'm afraid. Cutbacks. I wasn't expecting you this early.
Yeah. I want my breakfast, I'm hungry.
Well, you can have these two and I'll have the next two.
Okay.
I thought you was editing your video this morning. That's why I did. Well, I weren't expecting you till late this afternoon.
Well, I finished earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you've done your video, all edited.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So Rebecca's just uploaded. Well, you will be uploading a video very soon on her channel.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's about how to get the best night's sleep in your camper van.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I find rum helps.
Yeah, not always good if you're staying somewhere and you need to drive, but yeah.
No, it's true, yeah. Yeah, look, it's starting to boil-ish, kinda. sort of, how long's it been now? Almost 16 minutes, and I'd definitely say that's boiling. And I find once the water starts boiling, if you set your timer for 5 minutes, you get a perfect hard-boiled egg. Like I say, it's kind of, you know, like hard-boiled eggs are really dry in the middle. I like them so they're kind of not fully cooked in the middle. So they're sort of cooked, if that makes sense. You know what I mean, right? It's definitely boiling now. Oh, that's Becky breaking into my van. Oh yeah, the tracker on my van's still working perfectly fine, you can hear that. So that's 3 minutes now, and it's not boiling its head off. Have a look at this. That's as much as it's got going for it. That's 3 minutes of boiling, so I'm pretty confident that's as much as it's going to go, which is quite nice really. At least you know it's not going to boil over. Yeah, it's quite a gentle boil. So now let's see if it'll simmer. What happens if I turn this right down? Will it be noticeable? Is there a noticeable change in temperature? That's what we want to know, and this is why I chose to do boiled eggs, so I can actually see if there's a noticeable change. Does this actually make a difference? Does it actually work? So usually at this point I would take the eggs off the hob, but I wanted to see what it would simmer like. As you can see, it's simmering really nice. It's not going off its nut. It has gone down. Yeah, so this does work. The temperature controller does actually work. Have a look. There you go, so it's just simmering away, which is what we want if we're cooking pasta or stuff like that. That's on the lowest setting. Well, I think that's enough cooking from me. I know some of you don't really appreciate my culinary skills, so now I've had my breakfast. I'm going to carry on and I'm going to try and get this floor laid once and for all inside the Vario. So this is the first sheet to go down. Dragonfly. Hoorah, at last. Push it that way a bit. That's it. Done. That was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So frustrating. So I've screwed the first board down and I've come across the little snag concerning the second one. The fuel filler pipe, this pipe here, is slightly too high. This little bead or piece of flexi hose with the Jubilee clip round it literally stands about 2 millimeters higher than it should be. If I put this on there, you'll see. So if my board is there, it doesn't line up. It is literally just this tiny little bit that sits proud. So I'm just going to measure where this sits in correlation with the board, and then scoop a little bit of phonic ply out and then treat it before laying it. Perfect. So this is special phonic paint. It's a special waterproofer for plywood. I put plenty on so it soaks right in. There we go, that'll be perfect. So now I've treated that, I'm going to flip this back up the right way because we still need to drill a couple of holes at the other end for the water pipes that are going to come up through the floor from my calorifier. My glorious calorifier. Some people, Didn't think much of it. But anyhow, that's their prerogative. Now before I do put the adhesive down on this first piece, I'm going to trial fit this because I've got that scoop under there and I've got those 2 holes too. Just want to make sure this all lines up before I put any adhesive down. So once this is glued in place, it ain't never coming back up again. Not for a long time anyway. Oh, I hope not anyway. Some people did actually comment that putting the chlorifier underneath the van is going to get stuff thrown up underneath it, but I can assure you, there is in fact, there's mud flaps on the front, and behind the front mud flap, there's a secondary mud flap right here. So I will be installing another mud flap right in front of the chlorifier as well. So that way it should be triple protected. Let's see if I've got these holes in the right place. Wish me luck. They say you make your own luck. I'll tell you what, I thoroughly believe that as well. Back up on there. I think I could have got that better if I tried. There you go, that's not rocking anymore. That's nice and flat. So that little bit that I scooped out must be in the right place. Fantastic. Yeah, have a look at this. Not banging my own drum or anything. There you go, look how perfect that lines up. Look at that. Couldn't have done it better if I tried. Boy's a genius, but then I keep telling you that. Yeah, wires. Shall I drill a hole for the wires? But there's enough clearance, you see, in those holes for the wires to come up beside the pipes. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Yeah, I'll sure drill one more hole. I can drill a hole later on, can't I? For the wires, if I decide to do that. That's not going to be too much of a drama. There's plenty of room there. Right, let's go and have some lunch.
We've got 2 steaks in there.
Steaks.
We're going to see how long it takes to cook steak compared to what I'm used to.
All right.
And the byproduct is going to be a cup of tea.
First thing to do is turn the battery on.
Okay.
Korea best battery.
I like that it's just got the button like that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then this flashes.
Okay.
So now you hold the grey button down for 2 seconds, apparently.
1, 2. Oh yeah, till it goes
Yeah.
both lights.
And that's it.
And then temperature.
Yeah, it's temperature.
Okay, so I'm just going to give it a go. Oh look.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's going well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that factor actually. That if it gets too much, I'll just flip them and I've still got the heat. Whereas on the gas,
that's true.
I've got to light a second ring, which is difficult in there sometimes.
All right, well, I'll let you carry on cooking. I'm going to drill some holes.
Drill some holes. Go for it. Okay, so you can hear the kettle whistling away. It's probably taken about 15 minutes to reach up temperature. Once the beef got a little bit harder and hotter, I put it onto the cooler ring and I've just taken that off now and we're all ready to go. So thoroughly impressed with it. Now the question is, how do we turn it off?
Press and hold the grey button down.
Press and hold the grey. 2 seconds. 1, 2.
That's it.
Oh right, and if the green stays on.
Yeah.
Okay, and I turn the temperature down.
Well, that's fine. Leave it like that.
I think
It'll
we can
wind
say.
down. It'll wind itself down.
Oh, okay. I think we can say that was a success. But it all depends on what Mel says once he's actually eaten it.
Well, I'm happy with how this is sitting. So now I'm going to seal it and glue it in place. To do that, I'm going to use my old favourite Tiger Seal. Now this Tiger Seal isn't to glue the board down, it's just to stop any water getting underneath the board. So I'm putting this right on the edge of this, because the last thing I want is water being trapped between the board and this big lip. Because all that's going to do is cause this to rot and rust over time. And I really don't want this van to rust, especially after all the work I've put into it. Getting rid of the rust. Even though you're only supposed to seal it from the edge down, I think I'm actually going to put it on that edge so water doesn't get underneath. It means I've got to get underneath that bit of wood. I should hope it don't fall down on top of me. This could be a mistake. Should be alright. Yes. Let's move this out of the way. Put this down. But I'm really nervous for some reason because I don't want to fuck this up. I really don't want to mess this up. Let's see if that lines up. There you go, that one's lined up. That one's lined up. Yeah, there you go, they're lining up. It's gone straight back where it come from. Which is a relief. Well, I'm pleased to say that this board is now officially glued and screwed into place. Now, before I take a break, I'm just going to finish off this one that the tripod's on. Right. Hopefully I've got this piece back in the same place that I took it out of. You can actually see Tiger Seal oozing up through this gap, so I know I've got a nice even layer of that there. In case you're wondering what this square circle is, this represents where my drain is going to go for the grey water tank, which is under there. I'm going to drill through the floor and into the grey water tank at the same time. My wastewater pipe from the sink and from the shower is going to go straight down there. This screw's knackered. This is what we didn't want. Ah, crap. Yeah, we didn't want this to happen. Oh, not right in the middle of the floor. Come on. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. If this snaps, I'm going to be gutted. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, yes. Why that did that, I don't know. That is chewed up. Let's try another one. I'll just get fresh ones. straight in, no problem. That's it. I'm done for the day. That's taken a lot longer than I thought it would do. Just seen. Yeah, I'm going to seal the edges first, then I'm done for the day. I'm going to try and fit this just to make sure. First. Yeah. Make sure it's. So now that I've drilled all the pilot holes, I'm going to move this out of the way, make sure all the pilot holes are in exactly the right place for where I planned them to be, and it's looking good. I'll show you what I mean. Come here. Come for a little ride with me and I'll show you exactly what I mean. It's turn the light on, it's a bit dark in here. What I'm going to do is actually hoover all this up as well. So you can see each hole there, that's one pilot hole. So I know these are exactly in the middle of these beams, this beam where I want it to be. If I lift this up right along here as well, you can see each little daub of swarf and sawdust. So I'm going to hoover all that up. And then once I've done hoovering, I'm actually going to put some paint in these, in the holes. So when I fix the screws in, hopefully the paint will still be wet and it will seal them at the same time. So to try and minimise any rust occurring later on where those screws have gone through those beams. Now I'm just going to set this up, prop it there like that, then put my Tiger Seal mastic all the way along there, all the way along there as well, then drop it into place, screw it down, and then we'll put the seam sealer all up sides up to the end of this one, and we'll do our very last one in a moment. Right, let's get that mastic out. So again, I'm going to use Tiger Seal for this, and I'm going to use lots of it as well, because we don't want this leaking. No, not on my watch. This is not going to leak. Probably totally overkill. Oh, that's the kettle boiling. Just want to get this on, and then I thought I'll get this on and then make a cup of coffee. By the sounds of it, the diesel stove has beat me to it. I wasn't expecting it to boil that quick. Oh, there you go. And it's definitely boiling now. I'll get it from the other side. Last words. You don't want a mistake on this. I'm just going to drop it. There you go. God, it's going to ooze out everywhere. It's really oozing out of there. I'll have a close up look at this. Oh, don't kneel in it. I've got to be really careful not to tread in this now or kneel in it. There you go, you can see what it actually looks like. So here's the seam, nice and sealed. I say hopefully I won't tread in this, so when it dries I can just trim all this off with a knife. Yeah, look at that. Lovely. One more to go, but before I do the next one, I'm going to have a little coffee break. Bring it past the hole. So let me explain what goes on in my head. So in my head, in my mind's eye, I can actually see how this van's going to lay out. I can see pretty much every nut, bolt, every screw, every panel. I can look at the side of this van, and in my mind's eye, I can see exactly how this is going to look. I can see exactly where the cooktop's going to be. I can see where the shower tray is going to be. The pipework, the wiring, everything, it's all up here. I don't need to draw it down. And if I tried to draw it on paper, I would only confuse myself. Yeah, it's hard to explain how my brain works, but anyway, that's why I don't draw out plans, because I don't need to. I can look up there and I can see, in my mind, I can see exactly where all the cupboards are. I can even picture where the hinges are going to go, where the knobs, the buttons, the seat that's going to go there, with the control panel on the side of it for the bobble van heater and all my control switches, the fuse board, it's all going to be underneath that. Everything I can see in my head where everything is going to go. Even the little bookcase that I'm going to put here and here, the way the back of the bed's going to come up and over, and I'm going to have cubby holes along the top of here, rather than seeing the mattress. Oh, I'm sinking again. So when I open my double doors, rather than be able to see the mattress like I can on my van, you're going to have a lip with cubby holes going along here, so I can put bits and bobs from the bike, my diving gear, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, it's all up here. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, let's get this done. That's my 2 rails going that way. That's my 2 rails going that way. And I'm going to put, I'm going to double up on the screws on there, like I say, because of that sliding drawer. But that sliding drawer is going to be bolted down where these are, just to be on the safe side. So the last thing I want is to pull that drawer out and this lifts up, and yeah, cause me all sorts of problems. I'm having 3 screws there in a triangular fashion, 3 screws triangulated there, plus another 3 along here, and 1 going into that main beam. So yeah, should be no way this is going to tip up, especially once I put the rails in for the sliding drawer. They're going to be going bolted through the plywood and into those chassis rails as well. Perfect. Let's get the kettle. Oh, my knees. We're glad when this is done. So once again, now that I've drilled all those pilot holes, I'm going to hoover up all these little piles of metal filings that have accumulated. So we don't want metal filings underneath the floor going rusty later on. That's why I'm doing this. And then once I've finished hoovering them, again, I'm going to put a dab of paint in each hole. And before that paint dries, get that floor down, get those screws in, and in that way, as the screws go into those holes, it's going to drive that paint in and hopefully seal those holes up and stop it going rusty later on. It's getting dark. I don't like the dark. Can't see what I'm doing. There you go. It's almost like I'm welding, but with tiger seal. I'm just zigzagging it on that corner edge. Then the sealer will squeeze up here and also squeeze down. And this should give me a really good seal. Oh, a bit too much there. Never mind. We can trim it off. So if I get the pry bar, just get it under there. There we go. Gotcha. There it goes, that's the filler neck come through. Slide that, line it up, and down she goes. Let's get this in there. Place now. Move it over that way a bit. And that's it. Well, the battery on my camera is about to go flat, so if you enjoyed watching this video, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy watching this video just as much. Thanks for watching, ta-ra for now. Almost forgot to put sealant along this under edge.